Thank you for joining us on the spot. I'm Gary Al Smith, and continuing on the trajectory of the Ukraine-Russia conflict, there's an interesting twist. Chelsea Football Club owner Roman Abramovich is Russian, and he has been banned from living in Britain ever again, according to reports. Now, this comes after Russia's full-scale invasion of the Ukraine was also confirmed on Thursday. And the 55-year-old Chelsea owner has not been to the bridge in months. So, how does this affect the Russians' ownership of Chelsea, knowing how popular it is in Ghana? I spoke earlier today with Rob Harris, who is a sports journalist with Associated Press, and he's been breaking all the news involved in sport and this story.
You know, Roman Abramovich has always distanced himself from Vladimir Putin, trying to suggest that he's actually his own person, investments made on his own behalf, you know, despite how his wealth was built up in Russia through the 1990s. There will be an element of concern, particularly obviously amongst Chelsea fans, about if there is any action taken against Roman Abramovich by the British government. Boris Johnson did say in the House of Commons this week the fact that they were starting to sanction Roman Abramovich. He withdrew that statement as not being correct. Abramovich has not had a visa now for a few years to be able to have a working visa in the UK, and he withdrew his application. That was amidst the wider fallout, you know, perceived from the Salisbury poisoning of the former Russian spy in southwest England. He chose to withdraw his renewal of his visa application, and instead he has actually gained Israeli citizenship. He's also sought Portuguese citizenship as well. He has been able to travel back into England in the last year. He was here in October and November. In fact, in November, I actually was with him face-to-face at an event. Quite surprised to even see him in the country, given the issues around his visa, around his travel. But Abramovich, for now, has not been targeted by the British state. He would distance himself from Vladimir Putin in terms of him being his own person. But there will be those questions just about the wider investment in London, perhaps by you know, the Russian oligarchs, and how the wealth was built up. And we've already seen Aeroflot as a Russian state carrier that have been targeted. Other countries have targeted individuals as well. Gazprom executive who was on the board at Schalke in Germany, he was targeted in US sanctions, and he quit the Schalke board in the aftermath of that on Thursday, as well as Schalke dropping their Gazprom logos from their shirts. So it just shows how these decisions will be taken by the state, because really sanctions are the only significant weaponry that the West has, because there's no sense of any military intervention by the West in Ukraine to have a direct armed confrontation with nuclear Russia.
Chelsea fans, your club is in safe hands for now. And as you may have heard in the news, the UK has placed sanctions on a lot of the billionaires from Russia in the UK, but somehow they have spared Roman Abramovich, Alisher Usmanov, who also owns part of Arsenal and Everton, a couple of others. So, Rob Harris mentioned several things that have been done. Let's sum up everything that has been the reaction in the sports world since this story broke, beginning with some of the stuff Rob mentioned. All right, so bottom there, you see that Schalke have removed Gazprom logo from their shirts. But guess what? They've removed the logo, but they are keeping the money. They are not cancelling the sponsorship. And Gazprom is still a sponsor for Schalke 04. Let's go to the top. In basketball, Barcelona's basketball team is one of the biggest in Europe. They have cancelled their trip to St. Petersburg in Russia for their crucial Euro Basketball League game against Zenit. That was supposed to be tonight. Now, in chess, the International Chess Federation has cancelled its 2022 Olympiad that was slated for July in Moscow. In Formula One, the Formula One team called Haas has removed the branding of its Russian title sponsor, Uraklali, today for its pre-season testing. Also in Formula One, the FIA, that's the sports governing body, has taken the rather exciting Sochi Grand Prix from the 2022 season grid list. So there will be no games in Sochi. In football, Man United have ended their 10-year, £40 million partnership with Russian state airline Aeroflot. And in football as well, UEFA have moved the Champions League final slated for May 28th from St. Petersburg to Paris. And for the World Cup, Poland, Sweden, and Czech Republic, who all were supposed to play Russia, have requested that their qualifying matches that were supposed to be in Russia should be played elsewhere. Still on Ukraine, and former Ghanaian defender Samuel Inkoom used to play there. Now, he says he's open to returning to the Ghana Premier League, following in the footsteps of Asamoah Gyan, Suleiman Muntari, and others. This after a decade of last plying his trade in the Ghana Premier League. Of course, the right back made 26 appearances and scored 7 goals for Asante Kotoko between 2008 and 2009.